there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. We've got a smile on our faces, at least for the result. As you can see below, it's finished. Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 1, or Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 3. As Aston Villa were the home side today at Villa Park. And it's just, you know what, we're grateful for the fact that we got 3 points. That's the most important thing. I did say that we needed to win this game. Without question, if we want to remain in the title race, we had to win today. Because Man City won in quite iconic fashion, 5-3 on the day. Talk about a Boxing Day fixture. That pretty much summed it up. But no, 6-3, not 5-3, 6-3. There we are, even better. But the way that Man City won today, it went up to 9 points between us and Manchester City. We needed to win to bring that back down to 6. To be equal with Liverpool because their game got postponed. So hopefully when they play their game in hand, they drop points. Fingers crossed. I mean, you know, you can't hold your breath on these sort of things. They're sort of teams that score goals, they don't drop points. So, you know, it is what it is. And they don't rely on penalties very often either, except for Manchester City. But at least with the penalties, they do score other goals. With us, Penalty FC. But you know what? I'll take it all day long. I'll take it. And it goes to show you in terms of the way that we played in the first half, the changes we made and how we played in the second half, two completely different Chelseas. At least in terms of the impact and the dominance and being able to get the best out of our front men. Because the second half was night and day compared to the first half. That first half was pretty poor. Pretty poor. And the way that it all went down, thankfully we went in at halftime at 1-1 because it was Aston Villa that were getting the better chances, I would say. Them going 1-0 up and you just thought, oh no, it's going to be one of those days again, isn't it? It's going to be one of those days. The way that we set the team up today, it was a little bit of a surprise omission, the fact that Lukaku started on the bench. I thought he'd start, if I'm honest. I said it in my preview. I got the lineup pretty much spot on, except for Lukaku. I thought Lukaku would be playing. No, we went with Hudson-Odoi to play in that front three instead, and Pulisic was the man up front, whilst Hudson-Odoi on the left, Mason Mount on the right. And yeah, it just looked static, flat, constantly trying to pass the ball around, go backwards, sideways, pass the ball around, front three static, not moving, not dropping deep, just waiting for the ball to get to them, not really doing much. And then we concede, you know, it was, as I've said, not the best starts at all. But then we had Reece James concede an own goal. And up until that point, Reece James was having a bit of a stinker. But the ball across the box, Reece James tries to get his head onto it, literally doesn't, except for a very flat little touch on the top of his head, which sends the ball a little bit further higher than Edouard Mendy would have liked, and he didn't expect that to come his way, so he had trouble catching it. Went into the net, 1-0 Aston Villa. Thankfully, not too far forward after that, we managed to get the penalty. And Jorginho converting to make it 1-1. Thankfully, that was the case. Obviously, it was a penalty. But this is the one thing that you have to look at Chelsea and ask the question. We looked very flat and very static in terms of the front three up until we went 1-0 down. We go 1-0 down, all of a sudden, everyone's moving, energy is there, we're looking desperate, we're looking, you know, quick again, we're looking fast, we're moving for each other, there's chances, everyone's linking up in and around the box, we're now moving down the middle. I mean, everything you want to see from minute one, you don't get up until we're in trouble. Don't get why Chelsea do that. Why do we do that? Why do we wait until we're in trouble for us to act? Why are we reactive? Why are we not proactive? And that is something I really don't get. And again, Hudson-Odoi wins the penalty. Great movement. Movement we wasn't seeing from either him, Pulisic, or Mason Mount prior to that action, prior to us going 1-0 down. We go to 1-1, and then we resort back to how we were playing. We start to get a little calmer. The intensity drops a little bit. We're not as quick in terms of our movement. We're not as quick in terms of our passing. I'm just like, why? Why is it we are complacent every time we're not in danger? That shouldn't be the case. Thankfully, we went in at halftime, second half, and all of a sudden, Lukaku comes on, things shift, things change a little bit. And I have to say that was a very good sign. And hence why I wanted Lukaku to start, because I thought he might have had that impact from the get-go. But I'm very thankful that he did come on and he had that impact. Now, the man that came off was Trevor Chalobah. Trevor Chalobah, in terms of his work on the ball, looked great. In terms of his tackling, great. But the amount of times he got caught out by Ollie Watkins was unreal. So Chalobah needs to probably pay a little attention to that, for the fact that he just kept allowing Ollie Watkins to run in behind him and allow him to get the front foot, not stay goal side of him, and it just caused a little bit of a panic. Now, he came off. I don't know if he's injured or not. Hopefully he's okay. I hope he's all right. Thiago Silva picked up a little bit of what looked like his hamstring was pulling a little bit, so he had to come off. It looked like a precaution. He didn't actually do any damage to it, but yeah, hopefully he's not out for a very long time. You know what it's like at Chelsea when it comes to injuries nowadays. But yeah, Christensen coming on, Lukaku coming on, and then you start to see the shift a little bit. Kovacic comes on later for Kante, and we see Jorginho and Kovacic in the middle. Kovacic had very good impact in terms of winning the ball back, being able to transition very well. Kovacic, you know how direct he is. That's the one thing I love about Kovacic. He literally takes the ball and he's driving. The one thing with Chelsea today is you realise the amount of times we go to the sides, we go backwards, we go to the sides, and it just reminded me of Lampard ball again. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But again, when we're in trouble or there's signs of desperation, we start moving quick. We start getting the ball down the middle. We start playing in combinations. We start doing all sorts. And I'm like, why don't we do this from the get-go? Why? Anyway, we move forward. Afterwards, we get the second goal, courtesy of Romelu Lukaku. Ball from Callum Hudson-Odoi into the box. Was a very good ball. Nice little ball in on the inside, straight into Romelu Lukaku. Manages to get in and around Tyrone Mings. Hits it, bottom corner. Very Drogba-esque. 2-1 Chelsea. And prior to that, we see Lukaku and Tyrone Mings getting physical. Tyrone Mings struggled with Lukaku. Let's have that right. Struggled. Absolutely struggled. But Lukaku's movement, his composure, his pace, his positioning, everything looked fantastic with Lukaku coming in. And then the third goal later on, actually, before we get to the third goal, it should have been 3-1 twice before that. And this is the point. Despite us getting a win, despite me being very happy we picked up 3 points, happy days. It keeps us in the race. All you know, that's all lovely and jubbly. Yeah, that's all good and well. But I have to make this comment. You see Man City and the way that they are clinical. Liverpool in the way that they are clinical. Mason Mount missing the way that he did. Callum Hudson-Odoi missing the way that he did. Credit to Callum Hudson-Odoi of the assists. And overall, it was actually a good game for him. He should be putting that chance to bed, though. The one where Lukaku is literally creating the space, Kovacic comes in, passes to Kovacic. Kovacic has the brain, the vision to know that Hudson-Odoi is by himself, feeds it to Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's literally got the entire upper net to put the ball into. He doesn't. He tries to go low, where the keeper will find it easiest to reach the ball to. And what does he do? Makes the save. Again, if that's Man City, if that's Liverpool, you can pick out a name from either one of those attacks. They are putting the ball in the net. Mason Mount. Now, I can give credit for Hudson-Odoi for having a very decent game. Overall, decent game. But Mason Mount, absolute stinker today. Absolute stinker. And that chance that he missed just pretty much summed it up. You cannot be missing that. If that was KDB, for example, he's burying that with ease. And if you know the ball is on your weaker foot and you're not sure of yourself, look up. There was 2 Chelsea players there unmarked, ready to slot it in if he had fed it to them. And that's one thing about Mason Mount today. I don't know why his head's down. His head's down all the time. All the time. He's not up. He's not looking. He doesn't have that awareness, that instinct. The amount of times that you see Mason Mount having the opportunity to literally, if he had just kept his head up and pay attention to what's around him, take the ball around and move into space. Had so many opportunities to do that. Or turn the ball around and pass forward to the man that is literally there waiting for the ball to be received. He doesn't. He goes sideways, or he's dribbling, doesn't find an option, allows time for the defenders to attract onto him, and then he goes backwards, or he goes back to Reece James, or I'm just like, why are you doing that to yourself? Why? But that missed opportunity was unbelievable. Unbelievable. You cannot be missing that. You can't. I'm sorry. That, you can't. You gotta be burying that, or at least opening the chance for someone to bury it, because the goalkeeper was beaten. So that's the one thing that I just have to put out there, because if we are serious about winning the Premier League title, you gotta bury them. You gotta be clinical. Why? Because the standard is high. Man City are setting that standard. Liverpool are setting that standard. They bury those for fun. If we want a chance of competing for the Premier League, you gotta put those away. Now, thankfully, we got the third goal eventually, thanks to Romelu Lukaku. Hudson-Odoi setting off Lukaku on his way. Lukaku with his strength, proper beast, you know what he's like. Gets the ball forward, runs in, Gets the penalty, gets clamped. Should have been a red card. Let's have it right. He didn't. He got a yellow. I don't know how he got a yellow. Should have been a red. It was from behind. Goal scoring opportunity. All sorts. It screams red card. But we get another penalty courtesy of Lukaku. Thank you very much. Jorginho steps up and is on track to becoming the top goal scorer in the Premier League at this rate with the amount of penalties he's burying. So yeah, Penalty FC getting the win today. But the positive we can take from today is Lukaku. And the fact that it looks like we have a striker and a front man that knows what he's doing. And is now, fingers crossed, is going to pick up some form. I would love if he can start picking up some form now. Run with it and let's see what he does. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 3 points are 3 points. We've got the win. We are 6 points behind Manchester City. We are level on points with Liverpool. We are now 6 points ahead of Arsenal, who have now put themselves into 4th position. And fair play to Arsenal for that. You've got to give credit due where it's due. But Chelsea needed to win today. And we did. We move on to Brighton. Got to win that, and then it gets tasty. In January, it gets tasty. We've got to play Liverpool. We've got to play City. We've got to play Spurs 3 times. Once in the league, twice in the cup. January is going to be crazy. But it's today, it's Brighton that hopefully sets us up. If we can beat City and Liverpool, I mean, some will probably look at that and go, no, it's not happening. You never know. If we can do that, perfect. We'll see what happens though. We've got to beat Brighton now. That's another final for us. So let's see what happens. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my second channel. My FIFA Chelsea Career Mode episode 4 is live. I'll leave a link for you guys right here. So make sure you guys are checking that out and enjoy. Subscribe over there. Subscribe here if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Thank you for getting this number up to where it is. We've crossed 97k on the approach to 100. You guys are going to make that happen. Much appreciated. Let's hope it's sooner rather than later and we can celebrate. Thank you so much. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed this, and I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new video. See you tomorrow. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care and peace.